If you are trying to recover from any type of chronic symptoms, so maybe you struggle with chronic anxiety, chronic depression, chronic pain, chronic illness, even burnout, you need to know how to turn around a bad day. You need to know at what point things move from my circumstances and things out of my control to things absolutely in my control. So I'm going to give you a personal example of how I did this today. I wasn't sleeping super great last night. I woke up at around 4 o'clock and I was like, absolutely not. I'm going back to bed. I fell back asleep and then got this like emergency alarm on my phone from our video camera saying it heard an alarm sound in our kitchen. We don't really have we didn't know what this was about. So I come downstairs and it's one of my kids' watches has this alarm going off. We can't get the alarm to go off. My husband comes downstairs. He's like, what's going on? It's 4:37 at this point. I know there's no chance I'm going back to bed, or at least that's what I told myself and I didn't try. So what I proceeded to do next was be like, damn it, I'm awake. I'm not going to be able to go back to sleep. And I plopped my ass on the couch and I opened my phone. Now, normally I have my phone bricked. So I have a couple of these devices, but when you hold your phone up to it, it will lock certain apps and I have it locking my social media. If you haven't heard of it, I'll link a video that talks about it. But anyways, so it wasn't locked up. So there it is. There I am, 4:40 in the morning, and I'm on the couch. And next thing I know, my kids are waking up. It's 6:30. So I've now been on the couch for 2 hours on social media. This is not the best way for me to start my day. The chances are it's not the best way for you to start your day either, if that's how you're starting your day. And my kids wake up, my daughter wakes up, she's cranky, and I find myself very snappy. So now I'm irritable, I'm annoyed, I'm overstimulated. And this is all just because of what I chose to do based on a circumstance that I had. And something that is cool to me about nervous system stuff is my nervous system, it's still sensitized. I'm still actively recovering from chronic pain symptoms, although I don't deal with chronic anxiety or chronic insomnia at all anymore. It speaks to me. And when my system gets too aroused, too overstimulated, it talks to me first in uh, emotions, strong emotions, and then in sensations. And I could just tell, like, we are going in the wrong direction. I'm feeling a little bit more buzzy than I'm normally used to. And it just kept spiraling from there. And a cool thing that I've learned on this journey is when I am able to regulate, when I am able to bring my energy back down, those symptoms will go away. And they go away quicker the quicker you learn this, the quicker you learn that there are your circumstances. What happens to you? What happens in the world? You don't have control over when you wake up, why you wake up, how you wake up, emails that you get, things people say, things people do. That's out of your control. My question to you is, what do you do with that? What do you do with a wonky start? Do you let it fuel a bunch more wonky action? Do you let it drive you to take all these actions like drinking too much caffeine, being on your phone too much, overeating a bunch of food? Like, we do these things because we're already feeling crappy and we don't realize that we're prolonging it. We're making things worse. We're making our symptoms worse. We're giving ourselves more symptoms to deal with because our nervous system is already in an activated state and we are doing things to further keep it activated and or activate it more. So luckily, this is a lesson that I'm learning. And I feel like with my channel, it's really important for me to heal out loud, to allow out loud, to not just tell you, but to show you. Because in many aspects, I am actively in this journey. I'm about a year into it. And I've learned so much, and I want to share my pitfalls. I want to share my mistakes. I want to share the things that prevented me taking action for an entire year. So I will get into all of that. But this one is important. And it was me stopping and realizing you are now making choices. This isn't about your circumstances. You're making choices that are going to make you feel worse and worse and worse. When do you want to stop those choices? And that's how I talk to myself. It's like, what you choose. We can have a terrible day, or you can implement something that's going to help you shift. And in this case, it was simple. I bricked my phone up, which, if you don't know what that means, I locked up my social media and I locked up my email and I said, you've had enough stimulation for today. Go do something else. I took a bath. I got ready. I even laid down for a little bit. I laid down for like 20 minutes and I let things soften. So this was much less about more doing and much more about doing less. I needed to do less of what I know isn't helpful for me. So I want you to take some time, maybe get out your journal, think, what are the things that really rev me up? What are the things that have me feeling very off-centered? It could be anything, but it's important that you know what it is for you. And then once you identify what those things are, stay aware of them. Stay aware of when you're taking these actions and you feel like the day is getting away from you. You feel like you have lost control, and realize that you can turn that around at any second. And the faster you learn how to do that, the quicker all of these symptoms move through. I don't feel the same way I felt. This was just this morning. I don't feel the same way I felt before. And that was because it's my job to bring awareness, and it's my job to make a change, and it's my job to say, hey, this stops right now. I know that so much of this process of recovery and anxiety and pain, it feels so out of your control. It just feels like nothing you do works. It's hard. It's such a hard process. It's such a hard thing to be in the middle of. And there is a lot that you do have control over. In the most loving way, there are a lot of things that you're doing to make this worse, which is good news because it means there are many ways that you can change things to make things better. Know that shifting the day is a decision. It's just a choice. It's a choice to do new things or to stop doing things that aren't being helpful for you. And you can turn a bad day around. You can turn things around really quickly. And I would encourage you to pay attention to your body. Pay attention to those shifts, not in a hyper-focused way, not in a hyper-vigilant way, but in a way where you pay attention to how you felt before and how you felt after and what those changes are like, so that you can start building this library of things that really help you to feel safe, to feel regulated, to turn off those, perceived threats that you're getting. Because for me, like, being on my phone is like a constant threat perception, because I'm just scrolling and scrolling and I don't know what I'm going to get. And it just keeps my brain in a very busy mode. And that keeps everything locked on. So I want you to start with challenging yourself to see, how fast can I turn things around? How fast can I notice that I'm now contributing to the problem? I am in my own way right now, and I'm going to choose to do something different. That is how you begin to take back your power. That is how you take back your power from your symptoms, from your trauma, from your pain. And you say, no, I'm not following this path. I'm not going to contribute to this. I'm going to clean up my side of the street here. And I'm going to make a change that's going to make things get better. Maybe not immediately. So don't expect that. But over time, changed behavior in this way is going to rewire those neural pathways in your brain. You are not going to keep getting stuck. Sensations, pain, anxiety, all of that is going to move through so much faster. And that's what I hope to teach you in a million different ways of how we rewire and how we re-regulate to heal chronic shit. The stuff that you've been trying to solve if you're like me for 20 years. Okay? Start there. Let me know if you have any questions. Let me know if you had any insights, any ahas, and I will talk to you guys next time.